Welcome to Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel. Today, I'm going to continue my exploration of the Tome of World Building by Matt Finch of Mythmere Games. Last session, we did some stuff from Chapter 5. We are currently, I think, in our third segment of Chapter 5. So now we're going to dig into the religion. The goblin tribes of the Black River Valley. We have already established that this cultural basin has a type 2 religious organization, which means it's shared mythology, but independent religious organizations. In a fantasy world where the gods are real, they aren't defined by a culture, since they have an independent existence. However, since the gods only communicate sporadically and cryptically with humans, or in this case, goblins, religion is still a cultural phenomenon. Different cultures may worship the same god in different ways. Many cultures may have an official religion of some kind, which treats a particular culturally defined pantheon of gods differently than it treats other deities. Even if the culture doesn't have an official religion, it may have certain gods that are better known in the culture than others. The culture's pantheon of deities. So when we're talking about pantheons, we're talking about cultural legends, not the actual reality of the multiverse. So whatever is happening out there in the multiverse of gods, there's probably only a vague echo of that reality in the legends and mythology of their followers. Part of the miscommunication probably comes from clerics and priesthoods simplifying things for the masses, and an equivalent part comes from the fact that clerics and priesthoods only get vague communication from the gods themselves and don't know much more than their followers. Certainly, the average person in a world where the gods are palpably real knows a bit more about them than in a world where the existence of God is in question, but what's known is the core fact that the gods exist. The details are still mostly legend, imagination, and mythology. This allows for varied cultures, religious wars, and even the concept of heresy, many of the things that make adventuring in a fantasy world so much fun. So when generating pantheons, keep in mind that you aren't writing the reality of your gods and multiverse in stone. You're generating myths and relationships that might be true, or might only reflect the truth, or that might be dead wrong in terms of actual cosmic reality. Let's roll up a Pantheon pattern. We're going to roll a D100. And we got an 84. So Pantheon pattern 3. Multiple deities with leadership of the gods based on personal allegiances rather than law. See Chapter 11, Deities and Religions. Okay, so we rolled an 84. And we're just going to take this text here and paste it in here. And okay, building a pantheon. Pantheons with more than 2 gods will have a weather god, an antagonist god, and a god of general beneficence. But the other gods in the pantheon allow these god concepts to divide up and specialize a bit, depending on what the other god concepts address. It is absolutely fine, as an example, to have more than one god concept sharing the role of a god of general beneficence. One might be a harvest goddess, while the other is a goddess of healing. The same goes for antagonist gods, rarer in real-world mythology, but common in gaming mythologies, and the same is also true for weather gods. Physical structure of the pantheon god concepts. Keep in mind that pantheon is a cultural construct. It's the way people mythologize real deities, and these concepts are often wrong. Roll on table 549, form of deities in the pantheon, to see if there is a cultural template being applied to the deities in terms of how they are depicted. So we're going to roll another D100. Boom. 14. There is no universal form of deity in the pantheon. I think we need some gods for our pantheon, so we're going to slap some together, and I think to do that we need to check Chapter 11. So we're going to jump over, we're going to jump out to Chapter 11. Chapter 11, Deities and Religions. Okay, let's give it a shot. Polytheistic and ancient religions. One important point about polytheistic religions: in a polytheistic world, people pay respects and homages to all the gods, not to a single favorite. People do have favorites for certain, and even have patron gods if that god seems to be granting individual favor. But when you and your city are under the eye of multiple gods, you are careful not to annoy any of those gods for fear of the consequences. This is why highly questionable gods such as Ares were worshipped in ancient times, and why downright evil gods would have worshippers and temples in the major cities, undisturbed by mobs or government officials. Ancient polytheistic religions, my knowledge is primarily in the ancient Greek and Roman civilizations, but I've heard this about other ancient civilizations as well, aren't about belief or pure faith. They aren't about taking a side in conflict among the gods, and they aren't about your inner thoughts. Rather, they are basically transactional. Our city will pay all the due respects to this deity, and in return, we get good crop yields, avoid damaging storms to our ships, and don't die from plague. The gods aren't watching everything at all times, although they can definitely see much more at once than humans can. Some gods definitely have better information networks than others. Their attention can usually be called by invoking their names for prayer or oaths, etc. The patterns of religion described below talk about native gods and foreign gods. The people of ancient Greece knew of the ancient Egyptian deities, and ancient people believed in the existence of gods worshipped by other cultures. The Greeks didn't bother to worship any of the Egyptian deities because their deities weren't paying attention to ancient Greece. Whereas gods like Zeus, Poseidon, and Athena were paying a great deal of attention to what the Greeks were doing. The foreign gods were distant enough that the local gods would serve to handle whatever was necessary. In the ancient world, you made offerings to the gods that mattered, the ones watching. This is the feel I'm trying to get by making a distinction between native gods and foreign gods. So we want Pantheon pattern 3. This is what we're looking for right here. The Pantheon doesn't require the presence of a deity dictated specifically to law, unlike pattern 1 and 2. It also contains 2 major antagonist deities rather than just one. In practice, the difference between this pattern and pattern 2 may be quite minor. There can, however, be a significant difference in overall cultural feel between Pantheon directly linked to law and one organized around a leader with personal rather than abstract authority. This Pantheon might have a more embattled or desperate feel to it, which is why the second antagonist deity is added to the mix as well. Pantheon contains a creator deity, if there is one in your world, a leader deity, 2 antagonist deities, random, and then native deities. So 1d4 plus 4 of them, chosen or randomly determined from this list. So leader deity. Okay. The deity's primary aspect of power is good rulership, usually. In a few rare cases, the leader of the gods is actually really bad at the job. In that case, the primary aspect is probably luck. If you can't be good, at least be lucky. It's pretty funny. Or ancestry. A bad leader probably inherited the position. In the case of an incompetent leader, you've got a mythology in which the other deities work around the obviously terrible decisions of their leader. Man, that honestly does sound like a lot of Greek mythology. The leader deity almost certainly has good qualities that are so significant that even bad leadership is overlooked. This would be an uncommon mythological backdrop, although Zeus comes close to it. In most cases, the primary aspect would be good rulership, and 3 other aspects would be rolled on table 1131, areas of divine power. So let's roll up areas of divine power, and then 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 10. Oh, I kind of like that. I like that a lot, actually. Stole a symbol of leadership from a powerful place or creature that held it. This might be, I kind of love the idea that the goblins have like a leadership deity that is just a really good thief antagonist deity. Kind of got away with some junk. Let me see here. Oh, I see. This is not okay. I see. This is the source of authority. Okay, so we'll just do source of authority here. I think we can just maybe put this down here like that. And then I want to go find 1131, I think is what it said. For other aspects, areas of divine power here. Roll on any column. So I think we're going to roll a D3 and a D100. Seems legit. So we'll go bonk and bonk. So 3 is column 2 and value 89. So here we'll go aspects, and we'll go to 89, which is nobility. Tracks. We'll do this again. So that's column 1, value 56. 156. Cubs and children. Okay. And then 117. So the other aspect here is battle. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So now we are in the Nomicon. Let's bring this down a bit. And we are looking for divine names, primordial divine names, eldritch god names, planner locations, naming other deities, quick generation table for planner locations, angelic names, angelic sounding names, angelic epithets, demonic names. I kind of want to use the maybe we'll use the eldritch names table. These guys will just be like eldritch abominations that the goblins worship, because I kind of love that. So first part, so we need 2D100. Clear that. Boom, boom. 1942. So 1942. And that is going to be Atmu. Molg. Meh. All right. I don't actually love that. Let's see. What's the alternative? Najatan. That's good. That's a good name. All right. You know what? Let's name some more gods here. I think this is kind of fun. 2167. 2167. Atzisoa. That's right. Yeah. Antagonist 2. This is actually 4219 because I swapped them. Get the better name that way. This one's going to be 1872. Let's see what 1872 is. 18 is Arvi Stoga. Arvis Soga. Sure. Native healer deity. Let's use a different method here. Let's maybe use planner names. Quick generation table for planner locations. So roll independently. Planner location type 1, type 2, and type 3. So let's just roll. Yeah, let's just roll 2d20. And we'll check it on each table. So 416 is Galyalu. Love it. Sold. No notes. $9.13. Oh shoot, what did I do? Was it Gal Yalu? $4.16. And this is 9.13. 9.13 is Chavo. 9.13 is Us Olang. Love it. Our battle deity is going to be 312. Let's check here. Asan Bayadin? Nah. Lund. Ulbas Lund. Yeah. Ulbas Lund. Four and three. Kira Otan. Daraf Shalun. Galhesh. Galhesh, right? Because it kind of goes opposite the Galyalu. Yeah, maybe those two are like a pair. Galhesh. What did I say? Galhesh. So 4-3. The arcane deity. 6-15. So we'll look at Jafai. 6-15. Ulta Baran. Ulta Baran. Dig that. It's a good name. The provider deity. Go with 11-20. We're going to do Tuan Zilta. Or Jaeg Rajan. Or Dayantu. Dayantu, I think, right? So 11-20. Dayantu. And then the trade deity. We got an 11-7. So that could be Dachantu. 11-7. Dachantu. Dayantu and Dachantu. So yeah, I dig that. I think that Dayantu and Dachantu could be, again, related. All right, let's clean that up. And let's go to antagonist deities real quick back in our Tome of World Building and see if we can kind of quickly scaffold together. We're clipping the time here. We're hitting the high end of the time here. So let's see if we can get these antagonist deities knocked in. It looks like with the antagonist deities, they're evil or chaotic, maybe both. Roll on column 1 for the deity's second area of power. Then roll on columns 2, 3, and 4 for 2 or more lesser areas the god might be worshipped in. Okay, so I'm just going to say areas of power, and then we're just going to roll it all the way down the pipe here. So we need 4D100s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put this down as 44, 71, 96, 33. Okay. So 44 is floods. Oh, yeah. Can't beat a good flood god. Adzisoa, the flood. Dig it. 71. Gluttony. Yeah, I dig this. 96 on column 3 is wilderness. And 33 on column 4 is lords. Interesting. Okay, maybe not that last one. We'll see. Come back and clean it up a little bit. Let's try out this other one. Boom, re-roll it. And we get 82, 97, 40, and 56. And our lookup for that is going to be 82, the hunt. Okay. Column 2 is 97, memory. I dig that. Memory domain. The Grudge Keeper. Could be kind of cool. 40, persuasion and diplomacy. Persuasion and diplomacy. Yeah, most of the antagonists I know play diplomacy as well. Hey, just kidding. And then scrying. Yeah, I love that. A hunter god that, yeah, with a scrying power bullshit. That's wonderful. Mwah. Good juice. Good juice, my friend. Good juice. Okay. Well, let's throw the healer deity in here. This is a deity of healing and curing, which is primary power of area of power, generating a secondary aspect power on the following table. 2 or more areas of power may be generated on 1131. Okay, so we're going to clear this, and we're just going to roll once here. So the alternate for healer is spiders. Spiders. I guess I'll go areas of power. Spiders. I guess I rolled a 70. And then we roll on 1131. Said twice, I think. We'll do this one here. Areas of divine power. Roll on any column. So we're going to do this again, which is a D6 and a D100. So column 2, item 72 is messengers. So 272 messengers. And we'll bump that again. This is 331. 31 here is Schadenfreude. Okay. I dig that. Yeah, I guess that's a little wonky, isn't it? Gosh, can I not? Schadenfreude. Freud. Okay. That's fine. I guess realistically, this should go. Yeah, I don't have a great solution for that. Oop. Damn it. Back over here. Old Butsky. Okay. I don't have a good solution for this. I'm just going to have to put this here for now and like deal with it later. But that is our healer deity, Gale Yalu. Gahal Yalu. Gal Yalu. Trickster deity. Let's see if we can find a good. Well, there's our leader deity. Complex deity. Provider deity. Complex deity. Trade, travel, trickster. Cool. This god is not necessarily an antagonist deity. The deity's primary area of power is trickery. A second area of power may be rolled in the following table. 2 other areas of power may be generated on 131. So I'm just gonna get rid of this and reroll this guy. 23 dexterity. Okay. Areas of power 23 dexterity. And then we'll throw one of these out here and we'll just jumble the whole thing. And this will be 115. And the next one will be 110. And we're just going to look at the next god real quick and see if we can get through this Pantheon. Or I completely cook my time here. We're at the battle deity. Areas. 2 completely random aspects of power. Roll a second aspect of power on the following table. So we're going to do this and just grab the value 86. So, areas of power. 86. And that is... Oh, the hunt. Okay, interesting. So one of the antagonists is also the hunter. I like having juxtaposed hunter gods, hunter battle gods. That sounds pretty cool. And I'll bounce this again. Bounce. 169. Nice. Look at you, Mark. Thanks, brother. 294, so that's a 194. Let's drop it. 94. Cool. I think that puts us at Guardian Deity, which should be right here. Guardian has protective powers. Okay, so I'm just going to clear these. They get a D4. 3. Watchman. It's kind of like a policeman responding to trouble. So I guess this is 3 more random aspects of power. Guardian Deity has protection as their first area of power. You get 3 more random aspects. How the Guardian Deity is portrayed. The Watchman. Yeah, that's fine. Clear that. And then we'll do this again. Bunk. So that's 3, 4. Bounce again. It's 288. And the last one is 356. Okay. The arcane. Under arcane deity here. So antagonist deities, arcane deities perceived by culture, arcane deity secondary power. So determine a secondary area of power from the table, then roll 2 more randoms. So this is 48 areas of power. 48, which is invention. Interesting. And then I think it said 2 more. That's that. That's 240. That'll also be 232. And then there's a little table down here for how the arcane deity is perceived in the culture, which is looks like a D10 table. So I'm gonna clear that. Roll this. 6. Stole Book of Magic from an antagonist. Yeah, that's awesome. So one of these antagonist gods, probably the god of floods. Maybe this one. Now the scrying god, right? The hunter. Yeah, the hunter's gonna have beef with Ultabaran. Dig it. In fact, I'm just gonna murk this whole bit right here because they already stole the Book of Magic from what's their name? Arvis Thoga. From Arvis Thoga. Cool. I love that the gods here are like all thieves. It just feels very goblin to me. Let's do our provider deity. Areas of power. Oop. Getting close. Getting close. Provider deities. The deity's primary aspect of power is plenty. This covers all aspects of food provision. Roll 3 more random aspects on table 31. How the provider deity is perceived by the culture. So we'll just roll this first. This will be a D6 clear. 6. 4. Usually portrayed as one who fishes for food. If the culture is landlocked, roll a different result. Nope, not landlocked. Dayan 2, the fisher. Amazing. And then let's drop these and bump it. 374. Which I'm actually just going to put that straight in here. Bump it again. 145. And 248. All right, last one, Da-chan 2, and then we go through and fill all these out from our 1131 table. Da-chan 2 is a trade deity, so he'll be down here at the bottom. The trade deity, the deity's primary aspect of power is trade. Roll 3 more aspects, and that's it. Trade deities are often also travel deities. Okay, yeah, I'm cool with. Let's roll how he travels. I think that's fine. I'm just going to bump this because it's D6 anyway. So we're going to take the 2. All right. Rides a mythological steed, which I love in a lot of ways. And then we're just going to roll this. I think we get 3, right? So 3 areas of power. Yeah, 3 more times. So it'll be 164. Boom. And 314. Boom. And 377. All right. 1131. Here we come. Let's see it. All right. From the top. Boom, 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 boom. Trickster deity. 115. Balance. Love it. 110. Architecture. Also kind of love that. The trickster deity is an architect. That's dope. All right. Next one is 169. Discoveries. Interesting. Kind of an explorer, I guess, maybe. And then 194. Fate. Like that for a battle god. Pretty cool. The guardian deity, Galhesh, got column 3, item 4, persuasion and diplomacy. I'll hate that. $288. It's gonna be knight. Also kind of love that. I am the knight. Friggin' Batman, dude. 356 is suffering. Intense. All right, our arcane deity has 240, which is okay. We're another hunter god. I kind of love the number of hunter gods in here. 232. Herd animals. Oh, interesting. We might reroll that one. I'm not a huge fan of that. Although, now that I'm saying it out loud, the idea that this hunter god is hunting this herd animal god who is running and stole their magic book is kind of cool. It's kind of really cool. Maybe there's a story there. I kind of like it. Now that I'm looking at it, I kind of like it. Da Yantu, provider deity. It's got 374. Treachery and treason. Treachery and treason. 145. Civilization. And 248. Judgment. Okay. And then our trade deity, Da-chan 2, 164. That is death. A death and trade god. Yeah, they don't get better than that for me. I love me a god who's like, death and taxes, baby. Let's do it. Generosity. Oh man, that's good. A generous trade god of death. Oh, that was the wrong one. It's the wrong one. Damn it. Prisoners and captives. Okay, that's fine. I like generosity better. I like it better. We're keeping it. We're changing it. We're changing the rules here. It's 214 now. It's just such a better result. And then 377, truces and parlay. Well, I mean, that's how you get trade done. Okay, so what a video. We have done some wild stuff. So there's no universal form of deity in the Pantheon. We have rolled each deity individually. We've got names for them. We have domains of power. And I think we're even starting to get a sense of the relationships between them and things that they've done to one another. I think there's a lot more to do here. Honestly, I could do this all day. But I think we've got about 10 gods here. If I know how to count still, which it's getting late. Hey, you know what? Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you like these videos, I hope you'll hit the like button. And if you want to see more of them, you should subscribe. If you want to be notified when they come out, you should hit the bell icon. And ultimately, if you want to get early access to these videos or support me and my creations, you should go to patreon.com/watcherdm and join any paid tier. You'll get these videos a week early. Also, you get to hang out in my community and get to see all the other stuff we create. Thanks for playing. I'll see you in the next one.